The Prime Minister of Ukraine, Arseniy Yatsenyuk, recently concluded a two-day visit to North America. The first stop was the U.S.-Ukraine Business Forum in Washington, D.C. on July 13th. Mr. Prime Minister, you just came back from Washington and from one of the biggest Ukrainian-American business forums ever. Were there any new things implemented of economic or financial nature? And if you could give us the significance of the whole event for Ukraine and Ukrainian business.
This is actually the first ever Ukrainian-American business forum. And I was impressed by the representation. A number of US-based companies represented by CEOs, CFOs, and COOs participated in this conference. So we concentrated and focused on key areas of our economic cooperation. Mainly this is agricultural, energy, and infrastructure. The government launched a large-scale privatization, and we believe that American investors and Canadian investors would be welcome to participate in privatization and buy state-owned enterprises.
The highlight of the business forum was a new video released by the Ukrainian Ministry of Economic Trade and Development to attract foreign investment to Ukraine, called Open for You. This very Western video presentation captures the true essence of the new Ukraine, a reborn post-Maidan Ukraine that is driven by a new generation and is full of unlimited opportunities. The second part of the Prime Minister of Ukraine's visit to North America was the signing of the historic Canada-Ukraine Free Trade Agreement, which was signed in the presence of Prime Minister of Canada, the Right Honourable Stephen Harper, and the Prime Minister of Ukraine, Arseniy Yatsenyuk.
Today we are to strike actually a win-win deal, FTA deal, and this is to advance Canadian and Ukrainian business, to increase our bilateral investment, and this is another step how to make our countries flourishing, how to make Ukrainian and Canadian people just happy. This is the job we are entitled to. So once again, we truly appreciate your support, and we have a comprehensive agenda. Next steps needs to be done, and on behalf of the Ukrainian government, let me thank your government for all endeavors that have been undertaken to support Ukraine.
The average annual bilateral trade between the two countries from 2011 to 14 was $347 million. The CUFT agreement is an important opportunity to significantly increase this trade to the benefit of the economies of both Canada and Ukraine. Prime Minister Harper stated, "Our government has shown an unwavering commitment to ensuring the stability and security of Ukraine. Today's conclusion of the Canada-Ukraine Free Trade Agreement is another milestone in the important relationship between the two countries. We remain committed to creating the best conditions for Canadian companies to succeed abroad, as well as to ensure jobs and opportunities across our country." What would you say is the significance of the signing of this free trade deal that Prime Minister Arseniy Yatsenyuk announced here in Canada?
It's new opportunities for both Canadian and Ukrainian business, opportunities for innovation, an opportunity for Ukraine to send 99.9% of what it's currently exporting to Canada duty-free, but 86% for Canada going the other way. We're giving Ukraine longer transition periods, understanding that it is at a critical and difficult point in its economic development. Basically, it's opening up the route to better, quicker, more efficient economic cooperation between our two countries.
For Ukraine, is this also possibly a route using Canada to get through to the rest of the world? Is that also an opportunity, or is that limited?
Well, we've always said that Canada is a gateway to the Americas for exporters entering our markets, so that's certainly one way of I'd say sort of dipping a toe into the broader market in the Americas, North America, and the Americas generally. Ukraine is a major agricultural producer. In certain respects, it's a competitor for Canada, but there we can cooperate in selling technology, grain storage, for example, for Ukraine. Canadian companies are doing very well in that market. In other ways, we complement each other. So I'm looking forward to new tastes from Ukraine, but also I'm looking forward to better market access for Canadian lobster, for Canadian maple syrup, and any new products that people here dream up into the Ukrainian market.
After the signing of the free trade agreement, Prime Minister Yatsenyuk met with Canadian business leaders and senior government officials.
Yeah, we had a chance to have the business roundtable with Prime Minister of Ukraine, Yatsenyuk, which actually happened right after the signing ceremony for the free trade agreement between Ukraine and Canada. And basically, we have discussed some of the opportunities in Ukraine. We had a chance to listen to Prime Minister about what they have done so far in the new government, in the new cabinet of ministers, as well as in the parliament, and then what they have done and what they're planning to do for future, how to basically get the investment flowing from Canada into Ukraine. There were obviously some tough questions also from the audience, from the business people, and we had about 20 or so business people from across the country in oil and gas, agro, IT, and finance.
A very important part of Prime Minister Yatsenyuk's visit was a roundtable discussion with Ukrainian Canadian community leaders, hosted by the president of the Ukrainian Canadian Congress, Paul Grod. With us right now is the president of the Ukrainian Canadian Congress here in Ottawa to comment on the significance of the trade deal that was signed today between Ukraine and Canada. So what do you think is the most important aspect of this trade deal that took so long to work together, and which Canada was rather upset with Ukraine for a long time in this development process?
Well, this is a clear example of a real win-win between two countries. It's one thing to have political, cultural, social relations between two countries, but this is a real example of a strengthening of economic relations between Canada and Ukraine. I think it's a great opportunity for Canadian business, and I hope that Canadian business soon start to realize the great potential for Ukraine. Ukraine is ripe for investment and for trade. Right now, their traditional market of Russia has been shut down, and now Ukraine has a great opportunity to expand into other markets and to allow other products from Canada to flow into Ukraine and to make significant investments. Right now, with the economic downturn, it's a real great opportunity. It's a great buying opportunity for foreign investment in Ukraine, and I'm feeling the positivism. I'm hearing from a number of significant large Canadian investors who are now going to Ukraine, who are looking at significant investment opportunities. So I think this signing of the free trade agreement is just a further recognition and of Ukraine's potential.
Some of the questions that keep on coming up, we know that the regulation of the National Bank of Ukraine, that dividends cannot be paid out from Ukraine to your parent company in your country. Other questions from the oil and gas companies were on the royalties. The royalties are very high on oil and gas production, but we heard from Prime Minister that there is actually a law already being proposed that the royalties will be cut, where Canada can really then get involved.
Would you think there's also another political subtext that's involved here today?
It's the subtext is that Canada continues to demonstrate that the government of Canada continues to demonstrate its commitment to support Ukraine. It has been supporting Ukraine politically, from a military perspective, from a humanitarian perspective, and today Canada continues to demonstrate its commitment in supporting Ukraine's economy. Because the only way that Ukraine will survive is to have a strong, viable economy. And it's frankly speaking, in meeting with the Prime Minister and his team here, I see that they are on the right track to provide the appropriate reforms and to put Ukraine on track to be a successful European economy.
What about not just the potential of the deal, but how ready are both countries to actually get into it right away? How long will it take Ukrainian producers to take advantage of this, and to what extent is Canada interested or available for action, so to speak?
Well, we're running a range of projects trying to help the Ukrainian agricultural sector, but also small and medium businesses to become export ready, to become internationally competitive. So at least this way we'll be able to walk the walk as well as just talk the talk on that.